there I am. There I am.
Sorry. I was reading something. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good morning. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, no, I was watching, oh geez, Pastora Kate's interview with Emma, and she referenced a book called The Shining Ones. Have you seen that or read it?
No, and I'm sorry, who was on her show?
A woman named Pastora Kate. I guess she's a pastor.
I watched part of that one.
Yeah, and so I downloaded the book and I just started reading it this morning. It's really good. I'm maybe a couple chapters in. That's what I was doing, waiting for you. And I don't even know where to begin. I just did a TED Talk a half hour ago, and it's on here if you want to see it.
Absolutely, I would like to see it. And
Alrighty.
it's amazing to me here you'd gotten such, that memory out there, the
Oh my
13,
God, I was blown away.
but
Blown
here you got
away.
more and you got the person's name.
You mean Athena?
No, the boy.
Yes, yes. And it was funny because when I was first remembering it, then Kevin came to mind. Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. And I kept thinking, is that my part, Kevin? Is that my brother-in-law, Kevin? Is that why I'm thinking of it? Is that my childhood, puppy love? We were both abused together, Kevin. And I was playing around with that in my mind. And finally I was like, no, sound it out. Corbett. And it just came. Corbin. That was his name. And once I got the name, I realized it was the son of my grandfather's lieutenant. I don't know. And that's why I thought he was some sort of cousin, because I think he called his lieutenants my uncle so-and-so and uncle so-and-so. But it's not blood related, if that, makes sense.
Boy, with that name, you wonder if you could find who he is out there.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any idea the last name. But yeah. It's funny because I never think of finding them in the real world. You always bring that up and I'm like, oh duh. I
Oh,
figure if I
that's
get
fine.
it sorted out in my head, then I'm fine.
We've
Um,
got five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good.
um,
But it's just unbelievable how all of a sudden more will be added. You'll get more pieces to the memory.
Yes, and I realized when Athena showed herself, I realized the sequence of events and that I had put Trip and Teresa, or Tate and Teresa and Sandy at the age of 4, and they're really 6. I had to spend 6 hours yesterday changing my timelines and all my charts and graphs to put the correct ages in. I was like, oh my God, it was so tedious. But there were parts that were like, oh, this is just too much. I want to do it. And I was like, no, it's got to be correct. It's got to be correct. I just made myself do it.
Good for you, Diana.
So yeah, well, I guess we'll do Ted first and go from there. There you go, and there we go. Good morning, everyone. Here for another TED Talk. It is August. Can you hear it okay?
I sure can.
Oh, good. Got about a half hour before my counselor and I get on Zoom. I thought, let me do a quick TED Talk. It's been about
Good.
And I'm happy to report my thumbs are 99% better. It's just the tiniest little sore spot. My knee is 99% better. Tiniest little sore spot. So I'm gonna whack those areas a little bit. And my shoulders. Day after I did that TED Talk where you saw me beating on his shoulders, everything got better. Have not had an issue with my neck or shoulders since. So that's awesome. So let me look at my list here.
Body really does keep the score.
It truly does.
It's unbelievable.
Hard surface yesterday, not last night, but the night before. So I think I'm gonna give her some time. And another.
Good for you, Diana. You're modeling for people how to.
Anyhow, here we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Just nasty.
Good.
You, you, die!
That's what Chris calls the blood-curdling scream.
That's that guttural scream. Absolutely. That's when the healing's taking place.
Huge.
Yeah, dumping all the knapsacks off your finally. Those are great blows.
So,
There you go.
oh dear.
Good.
Grandpa! Little sick fuckers.
Good.
Okay. Rip you open the way you did him.
There you go.
You're alive. Animal.
Here, I pause this for a second so I don't forget.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had this song go through my head, Sweet Caroline. I believe it's by Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. And I remembered when I was a young girl playing that record, the little, I forget even what they're called, not the album, but the little one.
45s.
45s, yeah. And just loving that song. I think the popular song was on the other side, but I preferred the unpopular one, Sweet Caroline. And I would just sing to high heaven. And that song's been going through my head for 2 days. And so I looked up the lyrics this morning. I think a perp used it,
I wouldn't doubt it.
even though I enjoyed that song.
Yeah, that shows the
I
split.
mean, if you look at the words, it says touching you,
Oh gosh,
touching me.
that's exactly okay.
And I read it, I went, oh my God. And I was singing that to my
Yeah,
heart's content as a little girl over and over and over.
they use that one. Yeah,
I was like, oh my God. And I forgot I should have played that. I don't know how to use my music on my phone at the same time I'm recording because I don't want to screw up the recording. So I'm not really playing music anymore.
wonder if you can get
A separate, yeah,
or a little
something or
boombox out
other.
there.
Yeah, well, we have like a music thing out there, but I don't have it on disc to pop in there. So I got to figure something out. But maybe I'll just do a TED Talk that I don't record, but I think I should do one with music so people can understand the connection. Anyway, so I didn't want to forget that.
Fuck it, no. Fuckers. Oh, you pricks, all you devils and demons. Die! 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 Go to hell! Never get redemption! Make us smite you to nothingness!
It's funny because I start off with like a real low emotion level.
They can have a little breakfast first.
Interesting how it works. It takes a little bit to tap into it.
Pretty spontaneous.
I like that one. Good for you, Diana.
I was thinking, how can I position myself to truly chop the head off?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Good. Yeah, how would you know those movements?
Yeah. Chop a dick off. I get so irritated when that thing breaks. Doesn't break, it just loosens. And the balls.
There we go. That's what we're talking about.
The fuckers. Fucking with my
Good.
eyes.
Good.
Making me eat nasty shit and drink blood. You're disgusting. Debauched. Nasty. Nasty.
Good. There you go. There you go.
Skin of people. Laying them. So disgusting.
I had lots of parts come out.
Good. They're getting healed.
Die! All of you alive today, die! Nasty parts! May God smite you into nothingness! Okay. Okay. Little quickie.
Beautiful.
Oh, right.
Because you're so helping people
Let's
understand.
do a little hand to
It
hand.
just is keeping current with the emotions, helping the stuff come out.
Yeah, I forgot a part.
Part that surfaced about.
Okay. Oh, this is beautiful as well. It shows how in touch with yourself you are.
She wanted to do the hand to hand. I was thinking of that last night. She told me I want to smack him.
We win! We do! Fuck you!
There you go.
I think I'm good now. Ooh, doggies. It's hot already. It's gonna be a scorcher today, so I'm not moving out of the house. Anyhow, thanks for coming along. And y'all have a great day. God bless you, protect you. And we rebuke every last demon and perp on the planet and in the afterlife and in hell. Rebuke you. May God turn you to dust.
Good.
Anyway, sorry. I'm not
No, that's
yelling
good.
at you. And may the Lord watch over and protect all of you. You, your homes, your loved ones, everything you own and interact with. Except the perps. Don't be interacting with any perps. So, love you all. Bye.
Well, that's that.
Wow. Diane, that was beautiful. They're helping people see how to do it.
Well, good. I'm glad.
No, that was outstanding.
Guess we'll do journals. Yeah, this is a quick one here. It was funny. I saw as a young man, a young woman, they were dancing. Not I think they were
Yeah,
dancing.
you sent this one. Yeah, let's talk about this.
Oh shoot, what did I do there? It was a nice dance. They were clothed. The girl had a pretty white lace top. The man was pulling yeah, he was pulling the collar of her shirt down over her shoulder and her one arm. And then that's all I saw there. I don't know who it was. And then, time passes, I drift off again, and then I see Dylan being, I'm not sure if he was in water, lying in water and his head and shoulders being pushed down, or if he was on a table and the head was lowered and water was placed in, but that was the one in the army after I, let slip and they had to torture and reprogram me.
Yeah. So
And
waterborne.
yeah, the waterboarding. So, and that was all I saw there was he was just showing me, here's what I went through. And that was that. And then more time passed, I drifted off again. And then I saw people celebrating, spraying champagne all over the place. They were teenagers, the same age as these people up here. And then I think it had something to do with the CN Tower, even though I thought we only flew past it. And I'm thinking, well, did we fly low and happen to observe some sort of party on the ground floor? I don't know. And that was it there. So I put those entries with Jack.
Well, I wonder if there was a grand opening and they had.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, I would imagine, well, now that you bring that up, yeah. I mean, because the time I went by there, I think it didn't open for another year or so. And after that would have been the time frame that my mom was divorcing my dad. So I don't know if my dad did something with me when we were on a scheduled visitation or what. Maybe it's a possibility now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, but the timing is kind of weird. So I'll have to let that sink in and see where that goes.
Yeah.
And then the big one the next night, I was like, oh my goodness, this really tripped me out.
Yeah, let's talk. Oh gosh. Yep.
Yeah, so the scene is like a tree stump about 3 feet high. And it's funny because earlier that day, Chris and I watched, he likes to, he's always on fire watch when there's fires around the area because it affects,
Yeah.
it's just something he does as he watches it. But he happened to run into a documentary on YouTube and it was very interesting. Just talked about what they're doing across the state and the for fires, and they were talking about old growth and showing trees getting cut down and these big huge stumps just left there. And so that's what I saw was this huge stump. It's like 4 feet in diameter. Just yeah, altar. It was an altar. They use it for an altar. And I'm like, well, in Indiana, they didn't, I guess they could have a 4 foot diameter tree, certainly not like these out here. Um, So enormous tree, then we cut down the stump, maybe 3 feet high, 4 feet in diameter, two baskets made of natural material like twigs or something, or maybe it was wicker, I don't know. On the left side, a baby was in one basket, and on the right side was another basket, but it was empty. It was outside in the woods in my first impression. This was with Riley, who was Rocky, at the river for the Black Mass.
Okay.
So now this is me again. All day long, I felt fine when I was preparing dinner. All of a sudden, my stomach gets upset and I have incredible gas. And I had two large softball moves. I ate only about a third of my dinner. Just remembering now gave me an upset stomach. Now, this was the day that I had spent about 3 or 4 hours. It was I fixed dinner after I did like, I don't know, it might have been 4 or 5 hours worth of work on my charts and graphs and stuff. And I'll show you what it was that I made. I took this health checklist, do I have them all recorded, blah, blah, blah. are they on my whiteboard? Are they on my PowerPoint? Are they in the mind files, in the graph, all the things? And then I thought, oh, well, I'm going to separate this out into, okay, their new life. Okay, first they have an existence, now they have a new life.
I like this. I like this.
Have a new name, new clothes. Have we destroyed their prison? Do they have a new picture yet? And then I thought, oh, a new purpose. That would be good. Their new life.
Good.
And so I separated that out onto a different tab. And then I was like, oh, but wait a minute. What about when I do my TED work? Because I remembered when I was working on the neck, it wasn't just one part that has neck issues. It's probably 6 or 7.
There you go.
I was
There
like,
you go.
well, how can I focus on that? How can I figure that? Oh, these are just the emotional levels. All of them have levels, and the anger and the sad, because those are the first things. And I do have a question for you.
Yes.
What about utter terror and fear?
There you go.
Terror
Oh.
and fear, is there anger above or below that?
It's going to parallel.
Parallel with anger?
Um, uh, Meaning the terror will produce the anger.
Oh, okay.
So because
So
it's
the ones that have super high terror levels,
that's right. They have
I
just as
should treat them just like the ones with super high anger levels.
correct. The terror they have
Okay.
one additional step, right? So they have to
So
tap
from
into their
fear,
anger. There you go. There you
yeah.
go. And because the terror is the ultimate in helplessness, and we were never to be placed in a helpless position, right? Prior to the fall.
Okay.
So that's the ultimate backed into a corner where you're feeling impinged upon or losing control. That's
Okay.
always because of somebody putting knapsacks on you.
And you can't scream at them, stop it,
That's right.
but you suppress that. Okay, so
There you
fear
go.
should be treated just like sad. So I need to,
Yeah, that would be because that's going to be the most intense rage because think about it, of all adjectives, terrorized. So that's really going to be nuclear rage that'll match it.
okay. Yeah, I was thinking it has to be the same. So I need to do that.
Good for you. Gosh, you're doing good work.
Okay, so and then I thought, and then it was the body issue thing. And so I still one night, well, I'll go back to, well, yeah, I went through every part and they told me what their issues were.
As far as physical ailment,
Yes, well, more than just visuals. So we got eyes, ears, nose, mouth, teeth,
oh,
head,
okay,
neck.
wait, I'm staring at it. I'm not even, okay.
Oh, here, let me
Oh, there
show
we go.
you. I'll move it.
Oh, look at you.
Right. I was like, should I do it by the sense? Sight, vision, sound, smell, or should I do it by the body part? And I thought, well, okay, eyes and sight, ears and hearing, whatever. And then lungs, for drowning or
You've
smoking or
done all the
whatever.
above. That's exactly right.
Yeah, so GI tract, abdomen, stomach,
Unbelievable. Good, good.
skin issues, bruising issues, feet, whatever. And I was like, okay, sexual body parts. And I had to put their names over here because I couldn't, it was so wide. I needed, what line am I on?
Yeah, you have jaws,
Oh no, I should probably add that in there, huh? So by the,
mouth, or
where's
wherever. Yeah,
mouth?
right, yeah, right there.
Mouth, taste.
You'll know where. You'll know where.
Yeah, I don't want to forget that. So let me add a column, jaw. Okay, and then highlight it so I remember to fill it in. Okay, same here. I need to remember to, that's how I remember to do it.
So you
And
have
then I was like,
like thumbs or fingers.
yeah.
How about wrists? You have wrists?
No, I should maybe put that in
Yes,
there
because a lot of
too.
I would do wrists and ankles because
Oh,
I come
right.
across another survivor
You
because
did tell me
they were
that. Huh.
secured, right? So
Yeah,
because pulling
yeah.
being gang raped, and so there's a number of survivors who have horrible wrists that chiropractors, others have noticed and have asked about, why are your wrists so bad?
Right. Yeah. Well, I've always had weak wrists and ankles. Not really painful, just weak.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I
probably
totally,
this is the reason why.
yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, hands, fingers, nails,
Which
people
are,
might have stuff.
which I'm sorry, which would be also shoulders and elbows. So that may already fit into whatever you have.
Oh, I put like neck. Well, no, I guess I'll add that too.
Oh, because one client just talked about her double jointed elbows. Well, guess why she's double jointed?
I don't know.
She hasn't connected whatsoever. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, I forgot. I didn't even think of those because we were
oh, there you
laying
go.
in bed and all of a sudden I was almost asleep. I had those short few memories I just read to you, drifting off again, and then bam, my parts woke up and they had this idea. And so I'm scribbling it down on paper. Okay, this body part, and they were all naming who the part was. And so the next day I took that paper, which was like 8 different scraps of not scraps, but like half sheets of paper, and created this. So I'm working on this for hours and hours and hours, and then I go to fix
And
dinner and now
I'm sorry to, okay, and sorry about that.
that's
All
okay.
of a sudden occurred to me, sorry for interrupting.
Okay, add to
That,
it.
all of a sudden I was thinking just generally, because what you're inviting people to do are to fill in their own chart. So if
Mhm.
that's going to mess you up
Not
to,
at all.
to have
No,
all
I'm sure
those,
I have those issues too.
okay,
So
because
yeah, because
what,
mine seems to come with like GI tract and abdomen, stomach issues because of what I ate. It's like anyway. So legs, feet, skin, bruising, injection. Is your blood fucked up? Right? Because we got, Nathan Reynolds talked about how he was given things that changed his blood. And so that's why I added that in there. Did you have injection sites or things messing with your blood? So, okay. And then I went to, okay, well, how about mind issues? Who had sleep deprivation? Who had exertion, exhaustion? Who was electrocuted? Who had hunger issues? Who had temperature extremes? Who had interactions with animals? Who had to be in front of the camera? Because for me, my whole life, I've never been comfortable in front of the camera, but now I am all of a sudden. I think because let me make it bigger. Concentration. And last night I watched your thing with the 9 key indicators, and I thought, oh my God, I gotta add those to this list.
oh, how about the drowning or the holding of breath? Should that be on that one?
Well, I figured those would be lung issues, but
Okay.
I guess drowning, yeah, you certainly could add that.
Also, the spinning, so vertigo, disorientation.
Oh, right. Insert.
You're doing good. Diana, you're doing great work. Wow.
Well, and for me, I have to do it like this because I've got 165
Oh,
parts
that's right.
now.
That's
And
right.
for me to keep track of it all is insanity. So I need these charts. But for someone who's got 20 or 30 parts, I would think this would be a piece of cake,
Yeah.
you know? I'm just saying. Anyway, so drowning, spinning, I need to fill those in. I think I may have had some spinning or something. Maybe like you said, that they used like a wheel in front of me and hypnotized me. I don't
Yeah.
remember any physical spinning, but
No.
there's too many references between Tasmania, who's now called Raven, and Wisdom with the spinning and the whirlwinds and the tornadoes. It's
So I
just,
do think that usually it's going to be easier to put something, a pinwheel in front of a kid instead of strapping a kid because that's more mechanical.
yeah.
How about hanging upside down? Because all the
Oh,
blood would rush to
gee.
the kid's head.
Oh my God. So we'll put upside down hanging. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. Maybe I'll alphabetize these or something. And I just put the colors there for me because I thought if I print this out, then I can do one TED Talk and do the green layer, do another TED Talk and do the oranges. You know, that's why I colored them, and I'll adjust these later, but
I wonder with like when they injected you, they inject a kid with something, the kid, everything gets wobbly, or they get right that uh,
yeah, it's like a
disorientation,
distortion.
right?
Yeah, distortion.
Disorientation.
Distortion issues. Um, and I'm gonna add the 9 indicators on here, which is, do you have cutting issues? Do you have burning issues? Or
Oh, that would be good.
do you have an eating disorder? So I'm waiting for your next one to know, or if you want to just email me what the 9 are. I
Oh
thought
yeah,
it'd
well,
be a separate
I can
tab.
take a look. Let me bring it up right now. I should know them, but let me. Of course, I know them.
Well,
But
I mean, I just thought I'd make a whole separate tab and it would be the 9
um,
indicators.
so we've got
You have them.
which ones? Hold on, it's coming up here. Okay, so let's talk about it here.
Because mine's not necessarily cutting, but it's scratching my
No,
skin.
there's more than that. Okay, so we've got okay,
But
so
yeah,
self
just email them to me. I don't want to add them
okay.
in.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that's okay. Yeah, just email them and I'll add them
Yeah.
in.
You know, you've got distortion. Do you want to have the word, and again, I'm just throwing this out, disorientation?
Sure. Yeah, I've been disoriented. Disorientation. Okay.
There we go.
Oops. If I could spell it right. This.
Actually, there's about 11 or 12 indicators. So I'll send
Okay, yeah. So I'll do that then.
there we go.
Indicator.
I'm glad I could be helpful.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then the last tab I put was spiritual issues. Who has spiritual issues just in terms of
Oh,
because I've been reading the Bible. I mean, obviously I'm in Exodus right now, and different parts are going, that's bullshit.
yeah, no, that's right.
You know, and I don't know if I want to go grab the Bible. I do have some questions for you, but I don't want to
Yeah.
take away from.
Somebody, you're going to have on top of all the normal things that arise from going through a Job-like experience. This is now torture, and so um, there's a sense of betrayal. There's right, but then the biggest thing is two things: being
Feeling
triggered,
abandoned by God,
100%.
whatever.
Okay, and being triggered, and then they use scripture and distort it. And so
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to actually see what the verse says because our mind, it naturally will
Um,
fill in the gaps.
So for this scripture, abandonment, what was that first thing you said? To,
Um, okay, the betrayal
oh, right. Betrayal. By who? By God?
by God
Wouldn't
and
that
by
be like abandonment by God?
100%. Psalm 22:1 starts with, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um, Another big one is the idea of generational curses. Do people believe in that? Which is not,
Right.
but that's going to be right. And that's where the bloodlines, right? There's a difference between them viewing generations are important versus what is true. Um,
Yeah, because that was one thing when I was reading in Exodus, God's talking about how he'll curse anyone who, does the bad stuff and
yeah.
down to 3 and 4 generations. I'm thinking, well, that's me. I'm the second generation after my dad.
I think this is
So,
so
but
there's a good
I
point,
think
right?
that
These are the
what I'm
things,
doing kind of takes away that curse, doesn't it?
100%. Religious holidays,
Oh, right. Okay.
and then trigger words.
And symbols.
Oh gosh, good for you. Like communion, right? They always go after that one. Uh, and also the meaning, right? They're gonna take certain words and they're gonna
Yeah, twist the word meanings.
oh, okay. And this is the most important one. Distortion of key verses. And we could even say and theology. Now, what that means is different teachings.
Okay.
So, what does it mean to be redeemed, right? They're gonna warp all those things so that anybody that goes to church not just hears terms, hears phrases, but concepts. Um, just repeated mantras, the blood of Jesus, right? So catchphrases. I don't know if you want to, especially in the charismatic church.
Trigger words and phrases.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
This is so powerful what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
All of it.
so I can spend the month of whatever, or
Oh,
this week working on my spiritual, this week working on my physical, this week working on my mental,
there you go.
or just focus, this year on my physical stuff, each week focusing on a different body part, or
I'm
however
sorry.
someone wants to do
Diane,
it.
how about holiday songs? Now, the
Oh,
reason I say that is they took um, Christmas carols and also holiday songs
okay.
and warped them, just like they did a regular song, Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh, any songs, yeah.
right? Joy to the
I'll just
world, the Lord has come.
put music, so everyday music or holiday songs.
There, there.
Okay.
Wow.
So, well, yeah, so I guess this is all spiritual. I don't know, the music.
And
Well,
what
yeah,
I
whatever.
Dana, what I would, what's going to be invaluable and intensive searching, right, on the inside. So this is where the parts are. This is they're going to. Oh gosh, you guys are doing such excellent work. Um, I would be, and I will be really interested in as you guys start to tap into this. You're going to remember different phrases, different verses that they used that
Yeah,
are
yeah.
way too sophisticated. um, you can even put curses in there. Did you? Yes, I'm sorry. So it's not until somebody can say them out loud in the sense of it
Of
finally
knowing it.
and can it be analyzed,
Well,
right?
and see, that was one thing, believe it or not, in Scientology that they taught when they were doing their auditing. If you can remember the occurrence in full with as many senses as possible.
There you go.
And
There you
they
go.
taught that there's more than just five senses. There's a sense of pressure, temperature, whatever, that the more full you can make the memory, the more it will, what they call is as is it. It means it will make its power go away. You'll make it as if it's nothing. And
There you
they
go.
would call it as ising it. So,
But interesting that they didn't suggest venting because they
no.
being a cult, they still want to separate somebody from their anger. And they're doing exactly what a lot of churches do. They bring somebody up to a point where now it's the San Andreas fault effect, right? It's
Mhm.
starting to, we're having the Templars, but then we said, but forgive because hurt people, and they're just
I
generate,
know.
right? That's where better not start this process rather than tell a survivor you have the right to be angry, but now forget about it because they're not the perps weren't responsible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll go back to that journal, but this is what I worked on for this 3 or 4 hours.
Beautiful.
I worked on a few other things, but this took the bulk of my time and I was feeling really good afterwards. All right, let me save that. So, so
Wow.
then I'm cooking dinner. I was preparing dinner, everything's fine. And all of a sudden, just as it's almost ready, now my stomach's upset and I'm going, okay, what's happening here? gave me upset stomach. And so I
I'm
could,
sorry, I'm back. Sorry, you've really got my mind going.
no, go ahead.
This
Yeah.
this will be beautiful because what you're doing with that chart is you're really going to be able to separate out. So you're doing
The
groundbreaking stuff.
different levels and layers. Is it mental,
That's right.
emotional,
Because
the
this
physical,
is so
spiritual?
you find out who was SRA, what parts are SRA and or MK Ultra. So some were
Oh, right.
SRA alone, some were SRA and MK Ultra, and some were just MK Ultra.
Right. Yeah. So oh, geez, that's a whole nother set of
That's
charts.
what you're going to be finding out. So this is all SRA,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but that's the most core, and that's why the perps allow the SRA at first, because that then primes the pump for them to be able to access. I mean, the splitting's already taken place, so they
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
the perps to to start the process. Then the Nazis perfect the art of science.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
dark
Oh,
stuff.
so let me, you know what? I think I will put on here, um, M, oops, K Ultra, because I don't have a whole lot of uh, I know I had this done on me, but I don't have a whole lot of details or specifics. And then whenever I hear someone talking about it on an interview, I'm just like really enraptured with it.
See, I think the electrocution, I mean, you've
Will
either
go under NK Ultra, yeah.
correct. The cards, the
Oh yeah, the symbols, the mind files.
anything to do with dolphins and suppression tanks, that's going to
Oh, okay, here.
um,
Oh, hang on.
spinning, the pinwheel, that's going to be MK Ultra.
Okay, wait.
Sorry, sorry.
That's okay.
Look, I'm all excited.
Electrocution.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
So
Spinning.
spinning, the
Um,
waterboarding, so oxygen deprivation, anything to do with dolphins and water
oh,
like that.
right.
Not the, but think about if they're out at a grove and harming a kid, what they do or don't have access to.
Oh, and the earphone thing.
There we
The
go. There we go. Holograph, that's going to be MK Ultra. Certainly the SRA cards. So anything, if you see anybody with a clipboard, that's MK Ultra.
oh yeah, that's what they had it.
Windows, that's probably going to be your table, metal table, checkered floor, windows. That's both Masonic, but also, if they're in a doctor's office, so
Window.
any smells like with alcohol or anything else.
Right, right, right. Okay, good. Well, that's will certainly get me started.
Some of the parts are going, enough, John, because okay.
Yeah, okay.
There we
So,
go. I'm back.
so
I'm back.
that's what I worked on. So now I'm cooking dinner and I'm not able to eat it very much. So the evening goes by and I think I watched one of Emma's interviews. Oh, I don't know why I can never remember her name. Okay, and so then I lay down. Well, I was all laying down, but I thought it was important to add this because it was a factor. I think what I worked on caused these memories to come up.
Spot on.
And I was working on something completely different.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I can see grandma holding a baby up to the moonlight and it's a full moon. She's holding it up by the back of the neck with one hand and cutting it open with her wavy ceremonial knife and sacrificing it. There's a crowd of about 50 people in black robes. They're in a half circle around her. Then I was called up to the altar. Time passes. Now I see myself vomiting in the river. Time passes. Now I see myself dizzy. It's not a world that I see as spinning, but it was that distortion quality. Things weren't solid and it was just distorted. I'm going to put that on here. I couldn't think of the word. My part couldn't.
There we go.
So then time passes. Now all of a sudden I see four men in black robes with their hoods on, carrying this large wooden platform on their shoulders, one on each corner. I said, dear God, there's a body on it, dead and cut open with garnish on it and around it. And it was being placed on that large stump as a table. But that body is a meal. I'm very sick to my stomach right now, which is what I think I was feeling cooking dinner.
What were
It's,
you cooking? Do you know what you were cooking?
I think it was like hamburgers and corn on the cob. Just
So maybe,
because I wasn't able to cook real. Oh no, I made pizza. That's what it was. I made pizza, and I remember looking at the pizza sauce.
oh, there we go. There we go.
As I was washing dishes, it occurred to me that the sauce
Yeah.
looked like blood. Yeah,
There we go.
that's what it was. Okay, so let me save that.
Isn't it amazing that on some level, everything we are
Well,
about,
and I made that pizza sauce from the tomatoes I grew last year, and
Mhm.
you processed them, cooked them, canned them, and I've been using them all year.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, okay, it's an adult body with the head removed. Everyone is approaching it, including Angie, Mary, and Dad, and using that wavy knife, cutting slices of meat off it to eat. And there's a piece on my plate. I had to cut it off myself from the thigh. And Dad put a testicle on the plate for me. He told me I need to eat all of it up. Angie and Mary are reluctantly chewing on their flesh and swallowing it with difficulty. Dad is nodding while he chews with gusto. He takes a long drink of blood out of his cup, then he hands it to Angie, Mary, and me to wash down our dinner. Now the orgy is to begin. There was no space. The body on the table is decapitated, but here's the thing, John. They took the head and stood it where the head should have been lying flat, but they stood it up. The head is there a few inches away from the severed neck, standing straight up with its eyes open and looking at its own body. It was just surreal. The head of that body is watching its body be consumed. And so I'm doing this and I'm looking over to see Mom. Says, while we're eating, Mom and the other dupes. So there's 13 of them. And, some of them are wives that are, like Mom being mind fucked and whatever. Some are teenagers, some are young kids. Being tied down, it's dusk, almost dark, torches are lit, the large bonfires are being lit. And now time passes again. So I'm to be betrothed to the son of my grandfather's lieutenants in the Masonic Lodge. His name is Corbin.
Let me ask when you use the rank lieutenant, is that in masonry? Do they use that term?
I don't know, but I think that's what my grandfather called them, or
Okay.
maybe my dad described them that way. I'm not sure. I know they were the two men that sat, like you saw in the video of the woman dancing, the guy in the middle, and then he's
Yeah.
got two lieutenants.
Well,
You
that's
whatever they're called. I think I was too young to understand the phraseology or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, I didn't know.
Um, the empty basket next to the other infant represented the baby that he and I will have and sacrifice our firstborn to Lucifer. He and I went through a marriage ceremony in front of that altar space and became the feasting table. I had to eat one of those testicles off the dead man as a symbol of taking male energy into me like I would with my future husband. Excuse me. So while we're eating, I keep looking over to see Mom being prepared. She was sitting there completely drugged like a zombie, watching her ankles be tied down. And then she was, they made her lay down and her wrists were tied down. She was looking up at the spit over the bonfire that was not yet lit. There was a break between eating and lighting the bonfires, and I went over the river in a private area and put my finger down my throat and vomited into the river. Then I cleaned my face up and went back to my husband, who was roaming around in the sand waiting for the big event. it was just disgusting. The whole thing was disgusting. Angie and Mary did whatever they were told. Dad was as proud as a peacock, and Mom was drugged and about to be gang raped.
I don't know if you saw my response. It is just surreal now that you know, right, to think about your sisters. Look what they're
I
sitting on.
know.
They don't even know it.
I know. I know. I, we were married on top of that huge stump by Grandma and Grandpa. After that, we got down and the two cribs were put there. Corbin and I gutted the baby together. I think Grandma lifted it up to hand to me. So my first memory was like an analytical overlay. He and I said the incantations and prayers that we were taught to by my grandparents. Then we got down and the table was placed there with the dead body and we all ate. After that is when I snuck over to the river to vomit. Corbin saw me be, I don't know if that's a, yeah, that should be a Y. When I went to meet up with him, he confronted me about it. He told me I was weak and that he deserved a better witch than me and that he was going to go tell on me. That's when he pushed me to the ground and took off. That's also when I slowly backed up and disappeared into the bushes. So this is where Rocky came into being.
I remember
It's
that.
funny with the name because Rocky, he took the first and last letter, the R and the Y, Riley. So they like to do that with their names, take a piece of the original and play with it. So I hid there all night. I watched Mom being raped. I watched Angie, Mary, and Dad enjoy the party. Angie and Mary were raped, but also were having fun screwing around. Dad was running around proud of the peacock that his daughter, me, was being crowned the next head witch of our family. I hid in those bushes all night and watched Mom be raped. At sunrise, almost everyone was gone except our family. That's when I ran to Mom to try and help her, and I was caught. Grandma and Grandpa were furious that I would desecrate their ceremony in such a way. I was tortured the next day over it, reprogrammed. Corbin was given the dead man's heart to eat. I was given his testicle to eat. It was not his thigh. Angie and Mary and Dad had his thigh. So I'm sitting on the toilet right now and want to vomit. It was a black mass, and it was also my marriage to Satan through this boy to carry on our lineage as Satanists. Everyone was watching me and this boy eat. When that was done, everyone celebrated and got ready for the orgy. That's when I slipped away to the river to vomit. And so I just started crying. At the same time, I peed. And then when I remembered that, I was praying to God during that ceremony. I was begging him to come and help me and save me. Please, God, please come and help me. And he did. It's like I had to get it out of my body first before I remembered God helped me.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, I didn't. He gave me the window of opportunity to vomit and the other window of opportunity to disappear into the bushes next to that rock. But I still, and I was given had, but it was the part talking. I still have to watch Mama be raped.
Right.
I hurt so much inside, but I couldn't make a sound. I couldn't move. I kept praying to God, please, God, help me. Please help Mama. Angie, Mary, and Dad were gone, lost in the madness. Please, God, come and help us. That's all I kept saying. I guess, yeah, it's hard to know if I'm the narrator or the part half the time. That's all I kept saying. It's just so awful, so disgusting, so vile. Okay, and so now I'm starting to see it chronologically. When we were declared married and married to Satan, a black snake entity came down from the sky. Now I could remember this because Livy remembered it the week or two before, that black snake-like entity coming down and wrapped around us in a coil like it did with the guy with Livy. It was after that it released us and uncoiled and it was done. Then we stepped off the altar down onto the stone stairs, down into the party and then dinner and then orgy. The head of the snake entered Corbin's mouth as the tail entered my vagina. Remember I told you I felt like I had a snake come through my mouth and my vagina, and when they connected, I orgasmed once? This is why. It moved through me and him and somehow ate its own tail through us. we had to kiss, that's when it did it. And that's when I split. I was praying to God and then split. I was called Athena, Diana's counterpart, not me, Diana, but the goddess Diana.
Yeah.
But the, I'll put, he was Apollo. They put crowns on us. And I was like, well, what were the crowns made of? She said thorns. I was like, are you kidding? She goes, no, it was thorns.
Which would be a play upon the crown.
Yeah, it would be the blasphemy of Jesus. Yeah. So it's small cuts on my head that bled. Some got in my eyes. And that was the excuse I used to go to the river and wash it off so that I could see my husband. I was bullshitting him. That's why he let me go. I bullshitted him with my seductive sexual self. And I put, ha! Because earlier in the day when I worked on my graphs, I kept thinking all of the parts of me that were not tortured or raped or whatever, but were still sexual beings, like Gemma and Finley and others, I thought, well, they're not just family members. They were the ones that had boyfriends and were sexual. And I never thought of myself as seductive. But I thought, well, they must have been. So I had to change them and move them on my graphs.
Oh,
And so
gotcha.
I think doing that allowed this memory to surface. Oh, well, now she gets what the seductive self is. Okay. So that was like a realization. I put seductive sexual control. It was Jewel came out who was Kitten. And that's what I got wrong on my paperwork. It was suppressed. I worked on that today. So we faced each other. He said his vows to Satan and then to me. And then I repeated after him and vowed to be his and Satan's wife for life. And that's when we kissed. And that's when the snake came down and wrapped around us and threw us. And then I just put he was about 4 years older than me. So I was 6, he was like 10. And then when I realized that, it took me back to Tate. He's also the one who buried Tate, who was Tripp, the next day and tortured Teresa, the tooth, for telling.
Diana, I'm sorry. Sorry for interrupting.
That's
Uh,
okay.
okay, now Corbin. Let's talk about this just for a second, because here's my premise. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to clarify what we hear when we've all heard it, right? The generational stuff that, well, all of them have been victimized.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't believe that Corbin
I don't think he was victimized. I think he was trained to be a psycho.
there. Okay. So they played to this young man's ego and allowed him to be vile. He was not sexually violated, but he may have been seduced, but he liked it. So
That's right, because he was also a part of the group that raped Kitten in the Masonic Lodge.
there you go.
He
So
wasn't, because it was just the girls that were raped or my handicapped male cousin.
there you go. So the Bill Clintons and others, that's how you make a Bill Clinton right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So he's the one that tripped and buried Tate that next day. And then the day after that, he tortured Teresa by pulling on her teeth. Grandma, Grandpa, and Dad planned it all out. Now, this is when Mom was kind of in a coma and Grandma gave her drugs and said, oh, well, you're having a bad period. It took her a couple days to recover. And so they need to teach me a lesson for fucking up at the ceremony. And so I'm scrambling with my paperwork. We're going, but Tate's only 4 and you're 6. And they're like, Tate's not 4. So because I remembered him so early on, I just guessed at his age. And I realized, oh, that was a guess back then, but now I'm getting concrete information. So I had to restructure everything. It was like, oh my
it's
God.
about second grade, give or take.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I had to line that out. I'm like, okay, I started kindergarten. I turned 5,
Yeah.
started kindergarten a month later, went through the school year with dad doing stuff, and then summer break happens. We go to grandpa's, then this happens, and then I start first grade and I'm 6 because I was always the youngest person in my class.
Yeah.
I would have either been started a year later and been the oldest, or mom just is like, no, start now and be the youngest. And I was okay. And dad thought, well, if she can start school earlier and still kick ass, that's when he started testing my IQ and all that. And that's what brought Jack into play in the first grade when I was 6.
I wonder if you have any photographs of yourself at this age. I wonder if
I
there's like
do. I do.
panda eyes. That's where the panda,
Oh
because
yeah. Yeah,
how-
yeah. Where am I now? I don't want to be in there. I want to be here. Did I move it? I think I moved it. Shoot. Warner pics. Childhood pics. There we go. Oh no, there's just a few there. Diana family. Here we go. So here I'm 5. That's this picture. Do you remember it? Open up here.
yeah, look at the facial expression. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
That's
And it's a professional picture that they purchased. Right.
there we go. Right. There's a kid that's being perked on.
And here's another one when I'm 5. Oh, everything's just fine. But I
Okay,
believe
there's
this is
that.
when I
Okay,
was in,
there's that unnatural smile.
yeah, I believe this is when I was in school, well, going to school and getting acknowledgement and from my teachers, and I was safe at school.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, there, and then they're 6 years old. Here's this professional picture.
There we go. Gosh, those are powerful.
Who
Yeah,
does that?
so not at school, but here's a professional photo.
Why would they choose this photo? You know,
Okay,
if
there
it
we
is,
go.
it's professional. It was cut out of a sheet of many.
Okay, this is probably the trafficking photo that they would use.
Yeah. And then the next year, I'm going to School Sisters of Notre Dame and shooting people using claymore mines.
Still, right? That's not a natural smile. That's
Yeah, no, I've never had a natural smile on camera, John, ever,
yeah.
ever.
Well, I mean, how could you, right? With
I've
that.
never been comfortable in front of the camera. And
Okay.
then here's where I'm starting to do hand-to-hand combat and doing boy stuff and using knives and I'm like, are you kidding? I got a boy's haircut and unbelievable. And 9, this is when I was going to, the Chicago and the Queen and all of that shit. So it's still kind of a boy haircut, but it could
Yeah.
also be girly, which I've never looked at these. And then this is when I'm 6 or mom is divorcing dad, and a lot of that stuff was stopping.
Now you wonder,
My
look at
hair
that,
is growing
but look at the Liberty Bell. You wonder what that one's about.
mm, it's just a school setting here.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then here's me in the crossing guard. And I'm right now sitting here realizing I think I volunteered for that because I was used to Sarge and I'm a killer now. Yeah, I could be a crossing guard. I think I volunteered.
Yeah.
Look at that face. It's like, yeah, just take the photo. And now this is after mom's divorced and I haven't had much abuse for maybe half a year or a year. So I don't know why I'm laughing at this, but so yeah. Um oh, where was I? Oh, Corbin was 4 years old. Oh, it says my internet is flaky. So he was also the buried Tate. Grandma and Grandpa planned it out. It had to be him that did it because he was the husband now. He enjoyed it so very much. He said that I was his and he could do whatever he wanted to me. It was his responsibility to to torture me because I didn't obey. And I always wondered why Grandma and Grandpa had those boys torture me and not do it themselves.
You know,
Now I understood that. And then I laid back down. I must have been sitting on the toilet doing this for an hour, John. So I finally lay down. And Athena's like, well, can I blow that whole thing up? And I'm like, well, of course you can. What do you want to use? Because I want to do what Blue did, the Claymore mine. So we tried one, but it only got one side. She's like,
is that right?
yeah. And she's like, no, that's not good enough. Let's use 3. So the stump became whole again, and we put 3 around there. I said, well, now we need 3 people. And Riley's like, I'll do one. And
Okay.
Athena wants to do one. And Diana, you can do the 3rd one. So we used 3 of them, and we pushed it, and the thing was gone, except for this tiny, tiny little piece in the middle, like the core of the stump. And so there was and Riley's like, well, let's use quicksand. Let's just sink it down to hell. And I was like, okay. So,
Oh,
but because Athena surfaced so quickly and we destroyed her environment, and I'm showing her my bedroom. I said, tomorrow I'll show you the house. And yesterday I went shopping in the morning. And I'm like, I was so disoriented the whole morning because she was present, and she's like, where the fuck am I? When am I? And I started off real gently. I showed her the house. We watered together. She watched Caroline feed the birds. And then I'm like, well, we have to go shopping. I'm like, okay, Wolf, you need to drive.
now,
Barry,
Daniel, let me ask. This is interesting for me to know. As you're describing this, are you seeing Athena, or are you seeing through your
no,
eyes?
she's just present within me. I
Okay.
don't I don't really ever see their
Because
sometimes I see their
some people
faces.
actually see their parts as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah, I do too. I can see Kevin.
Okay.
I can see well, many of them actually. It's the picture that I selected from the internet
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, I mean, otherwise they're kind of faceless.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I'm like having to pull my part. I'm like, okay, well, if you need to drive because I'm disassociated. And I'm like, Barry, you need to keep track of our purse and our keys. Security, Barry is security, and I'm like, okay, Sarge, we're not gonna buy all sorts of crazy crap. We need to go according to the list. So they're like, so we're shopping and all the parts
You're
are
already doing
yeah.
teamwork. You're doing
Oh
teamwork.
yeah, all the time. And
Good.
and I didn't become until I got back in the car to drive home, I was mostly undisassociated. And I'm like, are you okay, Athena? That this is because she was kind of flipped out in the stores at the size of them. I went to Sam's and Walmart.
Yeah.
And she was remembering going shopping with grandma in these small little stores, but buying massive quantities of food.
Yeah.
So she was really disoriented in the stores. And I'm like, okay, Sarge, take us to the right aisle, get what's on the list, get us the fuck out of here, get us home. Barry, keep track of my purse and keys. Wolf, you got to drive. So on the way home, Wolf and I were both driving. And by the time I got home and unpacked, I wasn't disassociated anymore, but it was a strange experience.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need help, everybody.
Now, did you note that somewhere? I think you ought to describe
I
that. That would
should,
be,
yeah.
that would be invaluable for you to write about that.
Well, let me put that on here because if I put it, so this is already my PowerPoint and I don't want to forget to add it. So I'll put it on here.
Yes. So that would be like modern day as the
Yeah, yeah.
right as the healing is taking place. It's really progress. So as the progress takes
Oh,
place,
yeah.
you will have just described to someone how they can do
Growth.
exactly what you did, right? How do you begin to work as a team? So that teamwork.
Okay, I'll write that after our session.
Oh, that's
I'll
beautiful.
describe all of that because it was, yeah, because I kept thinking I didn't feel like I was hungover, but I felt like I felt present, but
There you go.
in a fog.
A-
Even
And that
sitting talking with Chris, I was like,
that'll help people
because
finally
Athena didn't have her place to go back to.
there we go. And
She's like, what do I do here?
it's helping the parts finally be able to see that the war is over. So that's healing the PTSD. Plus, they're becoming current, right?
The
They're seeing current
present.
day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this speaks to and addresses and helps kind of put to rest the myth I used to believe, especially for therapists, that you want integration. You don't. You want inner teamwork.
Yeah, everybody plays their part.
There.
You know, I used to, when I went shopping, the reason the purse thing was so important to me, I used to just put my purse in the basket and I could walk 5 or 10 feet away,
Yeah.
go get something and come back. It wasn't until Chris, he never saw me do it, but his intense scrutiny about security
Yeah.
that I realized, what am I doing?
Yeah. No,
I
that's right.
need my purse right next to me.
That's
Or
right.
when I'm at my car unloading, my purse was 4 feet behind me as I'm in the car. And I thought, well, anybody could walk by and just grab it.
That's
Or
right.
my phone is sticking out a little pouch. They could just steal my phone.
Right.
And so Barry and Chris, are like, well, take the cart with you everywhere you go. And you only reach for something if your purse is in front of you. And when you go to the car to unload, put your purse in the trunk first, then unload, and
Right.
then pull your purse out. And so I had to teach myself that about 3 or 4 years ago.
There you go.
So that's why that was such a big deal for me. Barry, watch the purse, and the keys
Yep.
and all that. So yeah, I'll record that later today. So let me save that because this is already my PowerPoint. And yeah, I'll forget. So, Piper, the paperwork girl, she's like, no, don't put it there. Put it somewhere
That's right. Well,
else.
that's why she's there, right? She
That's
knows.
right. And then this is last night. So I just saw a woman in a black robe with her hood up, staring up to the sky, looking at the moon. It was like, I think it's when I was on that altar and she was looking up for the incantations or something. But that's all I saw was from here up. And it was just a weird thing. It's as though she was in a trance. I was looking down at her. So time passes.
Oh, you're looking down at her?
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's what
you're seeing her
leads me to
face.
believe that I was taller than an adult woman
So you're
by
standing
about
on the stump.
4 feet. It's either the stump or something to do with this next memory.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. So now I just saw a group. It was weird. I just saw a group of people working out in a field, about 7 people, and they're like white people. They're not. It's like maybe a family or something. Right after that, then I see the man, which is the head. I think maybe it was a family, and he was the father. Rape a girl about the age of 7 very quickly. They were both standing. Her back was to his chest. He lifts up the back of her little, house dress or something. He whips open his dick and he just rapes her standing right there. So she was of a height. He didn't have to lift her. He just right there out in the field. I'm like, what the fuck? He had a work shirt and work pants. It was during the day in the middle of the field, out in the open for everyone to see. He raped her from behind, standing up. I know it's lunchtime. Let me get her lunch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're distracting me, baby.
Oh, well, Diana, you're doing phenomenal work. Phenomenal.
I was like, it was such a tame, not a tame memory, but it was just out of place because it was broad daylight. We're looking at like farmland. People are picking harvest and doing stuff, and it's harvest time now, not full harvest, but I got zucchinis and squashes and beans and stuff coming in, so. And so grandma, okay, and so next image is grandma's teaching me spells and incantations. We're standing on some sort of platform, a plateau, looking down. We're looking out over farmland. Grandma was very happy with the progress I was making. She said I was a natural. I believe somehow I put that girl into a trance and that somehow spells that I did caused that man to rape that girl in the field. And when that came out, I was like, what?
Huh.
And so now, and then I let her out. Okay, all right, that time. It's part of the reason that I was gonna be in my office today, and I thought, no, Dixie needs her stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I got to thinking about Siggy or Juliet. I don't think she likes the name Juliet, but she chose it, so it might change.
Yeah.
But I believe that she is the narrator because she's the communications director. She is between Lily, where all the memories are stored, and the parts that do the activities that were installed by the mind files. So Siggy is the communication director. She relays communication. And all these months that I've been working with you, it's like a narrator is telling me this. And then the parts will pipe in with certain phrases or words or whatever, like I just showed you earlier. And so I think that she does the communicating. I think she's the narrator. I think she's what one of the ladies I watched a couple nights ago is fronting. And that's why I'm smoking right now,
Right,
because she needs to communicate all this stuff.
right.
She's like, well, I need to be fronting so that you can get all this down. Because Lily's feeding me this stuff and the parts are piping in, but I'm telling you.
There you go. There you go.
And I was like, oh, okay. Because again, I was going to stop smoking yesterday, but when I went to the store, she insisted on getting a carton of cigarettes. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, we're not done yet.
So that's
Not that we'll ever be done, but it's like she needs to, I think you're interacting with Siggy and me right now,
right.
all these weeks since I started smoking. And I said to her, I said, but before we met John, the memories were coming and we were communicating it. And even the handwriting didn't really change a whole lot. She goes, yeah, I know, because I'm the communicator. She goes, what you call the narrator, the person narrating the story. I'm the communicator. And I went, oh, okay. But also I said, I'm now suddenly getting the impression that smoking cigarettes keeps my mind preoccupied and distracted so that I don't do the spells and incantations which seem to come naturally. It's like a suppression mechanism.
I'd put that, okay, that's beautiful. Well, okay, right. I'd put that on that spiritual chart that you're doing. Compulsion toward uh,
Witchcraft.
occult activity, right? So, because once somebody starts risking believing that God is there, then I mean, how do you separate out what somebody had come to associate with spirituality versus, and even the New Age is in there, so different
Yeah,
kind of
because remember I
signs and
told
symbols
you
within.
I did that spell on Chris and wasn't even consciously aware of it.
There we go. There we go.
And
Right.
when I became aware of it is when I said no, and
Okay,
it felt
there we go.
better.
That's going to be part of that, right?
So I put compulsion for witchcraft.
Okay, there you go. Because it's falling back. It feels second nature.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's allowing
I
themselves
mean,
then go through a
yeah.
spiritual activity, and before they know it, they're doing an occultic kind of thing. So
Hmm.
to be able to kind of take a step back and say, wait a second, what am I doing? That
Yeah, so maybe that's the point where, because I started smoking when I was 16.
Yep.
And I was working, I was safe from, most of the abuse and the programming and stuff. There's just those couple incidents. And I think I started smoking because maybe I was going to move towards witchcraft stuff. So I started smoking, joined the army, didn't really get into the New Age till after the army, because the army's a huge distraction.
oh, that's right. That's right.
But I smoked all through it, and I think it's a distraction, a suppression of witchcraft. I think it's also the triggers from all the cigarettes I was given as a kid to
And it'll calm
suppress
down.
that.
There's a calming effect. Nicotine apparently releases calcium into the blood. I remember
Oh, and I'm
that-
glad you brought that up. I was
yeah,
also watching that Pastora Kate. In her interview, she was talking about how that there are studies that have been shown that help parts be something. She said that she tried it and it didn't really work for her. She didn't like it. She said, but she's gotten lots and lots of reports from people that it helps parts to surface. And I thought, well, geez, I just got done smoking weed for like 15 solid years and my parts didn't surface. It was once I got baptized and quit smoking that my parts came around. So I don't know if I misunderstood, but she gave the impression that a lot of people use weed to help. Maybe it's to calm their parts. Maybe that's what I was doing.
right. Bessel van
Because
der Kolk,
Chris is triggering me
right,
nonstop.
MDA stuff is being now used on combat vets in order to help them process their PTSD. Let me ask that going back to the religious chart, you may have already had it. This just came to my mind. Yeah,
Mhm.
two of the most difficult and key things are the communion and baptism. So I don't know if you want to,
Oh, okay.
but you have those
Communion.
there. Oh, there's communion. Okay, but baptism.
Okay.
It's under the term here, ordinances. So that's very interesting that the Masonic Lodge uses the term ordinances. Um,
Ordinances. I don't even.
Also, right, Mormonism uses the idea of doctrines and covenants. So that's very interesting, just that term, covenants, maybe that term, does that trigger somebody? So, oh, that's a good one because covenant is another word for vow. So that'll be an important one. Like the question is, okay, they put this young kid, right, the young part of you, through this marriage ceremony. So how about marriage? How does somebody help that child understand that just because they went through it and not minimizing because you see the satanic Satan, snake come
Yeah.
in, and how's a kid supposed to ever risk believing that it still isn't true when they
Yeah.
experience?
I think what I realized, I think because you and I have talked about it quite a few times, was that, well, no, Satan's not in me. I know that for certain now. But also in that moment, not in that moment, because I was begging God for help, He
Yep.
gave me that window to go vomit up the testicle that I ate.
Yeah.
And then after the marriage, Sony, He gave me the opportunity to go hide. Because if I had been an obedient cult member, I would not have done either one. But God inspired me to do those things.
There you go.
And he's like, okay, well, vomit it out, get it out of you, wash the blood off your face, number one. And now, number two, go hide because you don't want to finish this ceremony. You don't want to be a part of the orgy. You don't want to be a part of, you can cut it off right now. So I had that realization as well.
There you go. I just had another survivor that has body memory. The shape of a ring appeared on her ring finger. So I don't know if you want a separate one, like a ring, or
Well, yeah,
But anyways, so those just
that
came.
could be part of fingers.
Yeah, okay, okay, there we go.
But I'll put that on here too.
Yeah.
But you like for me, I had a crown for God's
Okay,
sake,
there we go.
you know. I mean, just ridiculous what the lengths that these people go to spite and spit in God's face.
To ruin everything for a kid if later on they ever either are going to church or will go to a church. 'Cause
Yeah,
now
yeah.
every term, every phrase, um,
In every single aspect.
absolutely, they do the altar, right? Gosh, think about how many different things in a church that are going to be.
Well, and not only that, the Castora page, Kate was saying something. She was talking about altars, the different personalities. And then she said, and then think about altar, ALTAR.
That's right.
Why do we call them altars?
Yeah.
There are parts, they're the little ones, there are people,
I
but
think
they're
the phrase comes
altars.
from, I think my own hunch is this. Freud used to use the term alter ego. So I think
Right, I know.
that
Yeah,
comes from,
but Freud was probably a
yes, he was,
Satanist as
right?
well. Yeah.
A crack addict from what I heard.
So, and then all of a sudden, so I'm laying down, drifting off again. All of a sudden, those clay pots they used to have back in the Roman days, so they were shaped like that for wine or oil or something. I saw one of those, except it was like terracotta. It was lying on its side in the field. I'm like, why am I seeing a clay pot laying on its side? And I was walking away from it, and I said, "Oh, I made it fly through the air." I was like, "Oh, okay." So the narrator is telling me this. And then, John, I swear to God, this one I was not conscious of writing. When I read it this morning, I went, "What?" I just saw myself raise a person standing in a field. Grandma was giggling at how freaked out he was, or she was giggling at me. Now I know I did all these things. A demon did it, but I was made to believe I did it.
Yeah.
But this was completely written by a part, because when I lay down and instead of having it on my nightstand, having to go like this, grab the phone and put it back down. Because I usually lay on my right side. I have a circular pillow that the phone will lay in the middle of and not get lost in the bed. So now I just lay it over on the pillow. And now the parts know where it is and grabbing it. So I have no idea when this was written last night or
Oh,
who
is that
wrote
right?
it. I was not conscious of this morning. Yeah. I was like, what is this?
Is that right?
Yeah. So this was, I'll just put, I should make some sort of symbol
Yeah,
that
I
indicates
think you should. Yes, yes, yes.
it
Because
was someone else just totally did this.
there you go.
So I think wisdom was like, yeah, and we levitated someone and we threw a clay pot and we made a man rape a girl and we're doing all this stuff. I'm like, no shit. So I was like, holy crap. So this one I still need to put into my PowerPoint. But I was completely no recollection of writing this. Except this morning I thought, you sure she was giggling at how freaked out he was, or was she giggling at me? Because I was freaked out I was doing this stuff,
Oh,
right?
mhm.
Because I'm like, who the hell am I? I'm like 5. And I'm lifting a grown man, raising a man up in the field. So we were standing on some plateau or hill or some place looking down on these people farming their land. And we're make clay pots fly. We're making a man rape his daughter. I don't know how that's even possible unless that man was a Satanist himself,
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, holy crap. But yeah, I think this was part of the wedding ceremony here, but all the rest of this was training that grandma was doing. And I think that's why I was chosen to marry Satan and become the head witch, because all along, see, in all these families, it should be the firstborn daughter. And I kept thinking, well, why wouldn't Angie or Mary be chosen? They're older than me, Angie in particular. I don't think that they had the ability to split the way I did.
Yeah.
I don't think that they didn't have something that, but I did. And like I said, they liked the name that I was a Leo, which is a stronger fire sign than Sagittarius, which Angie and Mary are both Sagittarius. They're born in December. So I have a stronger astrological sign. And my name, Angela, means angel. And Mary is Jesus's mother. But Diana is a Greek goddess, a pagan god, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's why they picked me. Somehow I had the abilities and the stars aligned on my birthday, and mom named me what she named me. Because mom told me years ago that she was going to call me Donna Lynn, but that her mom told her to call me, no, call her Diana Lynn. But I wonder if it wasn't dad's parents that influenced mom to name me the way they did. Because
Oh,
mom chose big biblical names,
right.
but my name's not biblical. So I'm wondering if dad's parents didn't influence her and she just
Of course. That's
forgot.
exactly, that's exactly what happened.
I'm like, what, because Angela Marie, Mary Elizabeth,
Oh,
and then Diana Lynn.
yeah.
Because the biblical name's a non-biblical name.
Yep.
It's more pagan. I don't know where Lynn, I looked up my name Lynn once when I was like a teenager or something, and it meant the base of a waterfall is called a Lynn. I've never been able to find that again, but I've never forgotten it.
My hunch is there might be a person somewhere, and somebody was somebody connected to.
Yeah,
That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
yeah, I don't know, but I think
Lynn,
probably dad's parents influenced my name because of because I was born a Leo, which is the strongest fire sign. And the planet associated with a Leo is the sun god, Leo, fire sign, Diana, I think they influenced my mom to name me. And maybe that was their plan from the very beginning, because maybe they didn't want to work with girls that had biblical names. Because her name was Emma. I don't know if that's biblical or not, my grandmother.
that doesn't ring a bell as far
Yeah.
as.
So, so okay, I still need to put this in my PowerPoint today. I think I did, but okay, so and I also worked on this. Remember you wanted a three-dimensional? Well, with the shapes and the
Oh, what?
names were just too much. So I started with, this is just Microsoft Whiteboard. I could not find any software. So this is the deepest level, the wounded kids. So I just put the title and the names. I don't know if you want to get
Yeah,
into any of that.
yeah. Let's well, give me the overview. So, okay,
Oh,
perfect.
okay, the overview. These are the different levels. This is the, the I forget what you call it, the suppressed, repressed, wounded kids, and this was the,
Primary functional part, right?
yeah, well, there's the primary functional me, but I think you call this, geez, what did you call it?
Forget what did I call it?
Journal, okay, journal.
Oh, these are the ones that are helping you out all the time.
Yeah, the ones that they're not necessarily co-conscious, but they're,
That's right.
what did you call it? Oh, the support team, primary part support team. So I just took the names off of here and plugged them in here in the simplest way possible.
Could you enlarge that? Yeah, let me see what we got.
Yeah, I started with the deepest ones
Oh,
first.
okay, okay.
And as I did this, I realized I had 4 different people in the wrong categories. So, um, Yeah, and it's like these kind of all kind of covered the ones that wanted help. For some reason, I needed to put that over there and that over there and that over there. And originally, it was just like one big kind of arrow with these buried at the bottom, but I needed to kind of spread them out. So if you could visualize these tucked up over here, these tucked up over this tucked over, and then you got the initial guardian self-destruct. Actually, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Please move. Come on. There we go, like this, tucked up underneath. This program is really annoying because it doesn't give you that little X to know that you're
Oh.
moving it. Come on. There we go, like this.
Oh, that's good.
And then these four tucked up under there. I probably should just do it that way.
This is so good.
Because you had them kind of spread out with little cubes and stuff. And I
Yeah.
thought, well, how could I represent that here? And this seemed the way to do it, like this.
Okay, that's very good.
And it made it like so thick. I adjusted it, but I'll change it now. There. And I need to move you down there. So this is the, what do you call it? The core.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then you've got this, the initial guardian is over the top. These should probably be bigger.
I got you.
Over there, you got primary and secondary. I didn't make it separate, but just with a space. See how annoying this program is? It's not like PowerPoint.
You know, the Lord
then,
will bring your attention to the right program. It's
yeah, eventually. I have tried 6 different ones, and all of them are just annoying. I'm thinking, do I need to get a Mac computer to get the software you have? It's like really annoying.
that might not be a bad idea in this sense, that then
I just bought a new computer, so that's out of the question for 5 or 10 more years.
okay, sorry. But I
That's
was
okay.
thinking like for versatility, if you're going to podcast, for instance, ScreenFlow only works on Mac, but when I do my podcast on Friday nights, it only works on a PC. So there's different programs that work on it.
Different. I know, I've learned that.
So for me, it's been worth
And
it
there's
because
some programs that are awesome, but they're only for, a little tablet. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm not going to use a tablet.
no, I can't.
But what I'm doing right now is instead of using, what is this program, OBS Studio, which you recommended, which works great.
Does it? See, I haven't learned how to do it, but
But
everybody.
I don't know how you share screen or if you even can. So I thought, why don't I just do a Zoom meeting alone and record it?
Okay, good.
And that's what I did. So I can pop up screens and show people stuff and all that. So this is the repressed kids or the wounded kids area. And then this one is the
Yeah.
repressed.
Yep.
And so I made the firefighters bigger. And again, you could go with that, like that arrow shape with the firefighters on top and everybody else tucked back underneath.
Yep.
But it doesn't go with your thing. Let me move this, where you show how this pops down to here and this pops down to here. You know what I mean? So I guess it's the same, just with different shapes.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's right. That's right.
So, and I just used the different colors, nothing really significant. I tried to match it to the color you had, but this only has 8 colors.
I got you. Mhm.
So, or I would have had all these different colors. And then this area was the subconscious level.
There you go.
And I forgot this category entirely. All these weeks and months of the things that I have never had the rebel category.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
the only part that thinks it's a rebel is Kirk, the one that got karate kicked. Remember? Karate kick, and Kirk is a K and a K. That's
Was
like,
that at the beach at the lake?
yeah, yeah. And he was, remember, he backed up and he was going to run away,
Yeah.
but he didn't. He was being rebellious, Anyway, so, and I think there's more to that story there too. I think Dad maybe came at me on the sand and I was like pushing him off and whatever, because Marianne and Mom were pissed off. And I think maybe he modeled himself on Marianne, because Marianne, Mom's girlfriend, was the one who was like, you're a motherfucker, you're this. And she was just having at him. And so I think I was trying to embody her rebelliousness towards him.
Good.
So, and seductive sexual control, I only had Bella in there. Which,
Oh,
now that I think about it, it's not Bella, it's Betty, who is the one, oh, this is so annoying. Bella is the one that had her teeth tortured. Oh, that's right. I need to go to text box. I hate this program.
hmm.
Oh, oh, I need to go there. There we go. Oh no, that's wrong too. It should say Betty. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me pull back. But I realized that Finley, the sexual girl in high school, Gemma, the sexual girl in the army and after the army, and Betty was the one who was bitch.
Yeah.
She was a rape there, but she remained that sexual part until I met Chris, who nasty girl, her name is Giselle.
I got you.
So these are the sexual parts of me that were not raped, but acted in a sexual, was the sexual person with whatever boyfriend I had at the time.
That's right.
So this is like my teens, this is my 20s, this is my 30s, and Chris is my 40s. So that's what that's about. And I don't know if you want to look at anything else on this. Let me
No,
move this guy over here.
excellent job. Excellent job.
So yeah, and then this was the what I would imagine is just subconscious.
Yep. Now, for instance, your experience going shopping, there was a good example of
Well, I
how,
think a lot of the wounded kids that, like Knight, who is now Barry, he just had that one evening of abuse. He's very co-conscious with me every day.
okay, so
He
here,
wants to make sure the gate's locked, the
and
doors
where
are
is
locked.
he? Do you have him up here?
He's under Wounded Kids because that's where he
No, I'd
started.
bring him up then.
Well, that I want to show it in its original
Oh,
state.
okay,
I probably
perfect,
need to
perfect.
make a
Yeah,
new
there you go.
one that shows. I don't know who he would be. I guess
Because the
he
when you
would
went to,
be detailed and helpful and dutiful.
because that example here that you just had, you're going shopping, and look who you were able to draw upon. So you had, at least three parts.
Yeah, Winnie, who
Oh,
was Wolf, she drives. She's like, I
okay,
know how to move with a pack. You
okay,
need to
there we go.
slow down. We need to speed up. This pack is aggressive. Let's get away from them.
There we go. So
She
they've moved
likes to
from
drive.
they've
Yeah.
moved to unconscious now. So that's beautiful. You're right. Two different charts because now people are able to see that among all the team players here, we're calling a play. So we have
Yeah.
specialized uh, members that can help.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and this is what I was talking about, like being superwoman.
There you go.
Look
There you
at
go.
all these different people and all their different skills. You know, I think about when Melissa was talking about when she was interviewing me, how she could just bounce from one topic to another, and I would bounce with her.
That's right. Oh,
And I'm
okay. You're
thinking,
going to hate
oh,
this one. I have an
it's all
idea for
these
you.
different parts doing their thing.
Okay, you're going to hate this. I have an idea for you, but I'm just throwing this out. Ready? Um,
More work.
right. Okay. Same chart, just make a copy of it. And then
Well, I
in
think I'll make a separate, keep this the same
spot on. Absolutely.
and
Right.
here's the problem with this program. You cannot save it as a file. It exists only in the whiteboard that Microsoft controls. And the only way I'm able to open it up is because of my Microsoft ID, which is an automatic
Oh,
thing.
so you can't save different versions.
I can't copy this. I can't paste it. I can't.
Screenshots, right? You're stuck with screenshots then.
Yeah, yeah. And look at the size of this screenshot. You're not going to see
Yeah,
anything.
you're going to have to get with the work that you're doing, Diana. I would pay for whatever program you need.
I can't find the program, John. I'm willing to pay for it. Like that one I told you I paid $70 for and I'm not using for the same reason. I can't save the file. It's not mine. It's in there in their program in their storage. But I can't I can share screen. I can create it. But if I wanted to say, let me copy this whole page, paste it onto another one, and then add to it, impossibility. It's an impossibility.
So you, oh, what a,
So
I
I think this is a way for Microsoft to control
uh,
and get access to people's ideas. Right? Like, why else would they do that?
you wonder then, copying and pasting stuff, a previous version, you're just going to create that Word document, then
Well,
work on
let me see if I can copy and paste one of these, because this is a whole cube. So copy, paste. Oh no, that pasted my link.
Or, okay, here's a thought. Is that an endless whiteboard?
It's called Microsoft Whiteboard. Yeah, it'll go on
Okay,
forever.
then maybe just
Oh,
copy,
just
paste,
move it
move it over. There we
over.
go. There we go.
Okay, yeah, or maybe I'll just take and put over here
Or
newly
duplicate.
conscious,
Is that,
because Knight doesn't really fit into these yeah, he's helpful and he's dutiful, but he is security. He's like, I am security,
there you go. So,
you know, and
it'll,
Wolf is, I'm the driver. You
so
know,
it'll,
Sarge keeps the trains moving and
there
they're
you
all
go.
down here.
It'll take that unfortunate extra step, copy and paste. Maybe,
No, that's a great idea. I
there
could
you go.
put it
So
over
as you're
here.
zooming out, you've got then three working models. But
Right,
then
right. But they're
actually
so tiny.
yeah, so for presentation purposes, that'll actually make it nice because zooming in and out and shifting between,
Yeah,
past.
you're right. I will put it all in this same one then, yeah. But I wish it needs more colors. I can put shapes in here, but look at that. You get 8 shapes, 4 lines. That's it. The colors are a joke. Where is it?
What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, who I don't want that. So this is more for like business
Yeah,
purposes.
it is. That is.
It's not, oh, see, now I got to go back here and you can't say delete, you got to shrink it to delete it. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's really quite a pain in the
Hold
end.
on. I have.
Oh shit, what did I just do?
I purchased, and I haven't been using it. I need to get back to it. Okay, what is the name of this company? Because there's the professional art. Here's a little tablet thing. Okay, now. Okay, so it's a tablet kind of thing.
So it's software for tablet?
Okay, no, you can purchase, this is a pad where it has a pen up here. And
Yeah,
then it
and you can draw.
projects, okay. But professional artists use it.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking there's got to be a program that they use.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah,
So
I just
anyways,
don't
the
have a
company is
tablet.
Wacom, WACOM. So maybe it might take
Maybe
you
a tablet's not that expensive. Maybe I will get it.
purchasing a tablet then that will project onto your PC. I don't know. It's a thought.
Yeah, so I finally, yeah, got the 3D. This is what I worked on Sunday before I was doing dinner and
So,
realized that several parts were in the wrong consciousness level, so to speak. And I wanted to depict how small the buried kids are compared to the co-conscious ones or whatever you want to call them. So that's why their names are so tiny. And I tried to successively get larger
well, I know what I was going to say.
as
So
I went along.
here's the extra work for you, but no, this will be really interesting. If you zoom into the kind of the current day co-assistant group right at the top there,
Okay.
it might be interesting for visual effect for the viewer for you to put in parentheses behind each name
Mm-hmm.
their strength
Oh.
or talent. And therefore,
Oh, okay. Well, some of them have many. I mean, these are all just helpful people.
yeah. But I think that for the viewer, that's going to help someone understand because
Because I'm
what
switching through these people all
there you
day
go.
long.
So that's going to show through the entire day how many potential parts they have. Okay, one
And I'm
drives, one
One
organizes.
cooks, one does my plants, one
Okay, there
does
you
my
go. I'm
computer
telling you,
work,
that'll be
one
very
does.
interesting for people to see how through a normal work day, now you can play to the strengths. You can rely upon lean into that part.
Yeah, see, Mandy's the money manager.
Okay, there. That's going to be beautiful to do. Just a little parentheses so that as people are looking at it, it's like, oh, okay, I can now see. And so they have similar parts within them so that
Yeah,
they begin to appreciate why this concept of integration is a misnomer.
right, because they're merging into your conscious mind, but they're still there functioning.
There you go. But there's a current teaching where it's been around for a while that says you want everybody to go white just into one. No, you don't. So
No,
this
yeah.
so if you do something like that for the viewer, then they can look through and what'll happen is they're going to be scanning the parentheses to find out, okay, what functions, right? Like who selects the clothing? I mean, sometimes that may or
Oh
may
my
not.
God. Yeah. I mean, I'm so not into clothing. I've got 12 different house dresses.
Okay, right.
I've got like 15 of the same shirt, just different colors.
Okay, right. So for you, it's not
Yeah,
going to
but
be
the different parts are like, let's go with oranges today, or let's go with purples. Like when Athena, when I went shopping and I was disassociated, she wanted to wear black.
okay.
She
There we
had
go.
black leggings on and a black
Oh,
shirt
I would add that,
yeah,
Diana. I would add that. That'll
with
be
the grocery shopping. Yeah, but the
right
black
favorite
shirt
color of
had
clothing
but the
style.
but the black shirt had big bright sunflowers on it. She's
Okay.
like, "Yeah, it's black, but it's not all black."
So,
So, and I'm
so
blown away at how many black articles of clothing I have.
okay. But that could be interesting as well, because that way the viewer, as they're looking through this list, they can begin to identify, okay, why am I choosing this kind of clothing today? Oh, you're right. Oh, that part's out. What as you said, here's another thing. As you said, who's the one that does money management?
Mandy over
Okay.
here.
So now here's a very interesting thing because let's say Mandy is tasked with, let's say it's coming close to tax time.
Right.
Okay. So she's shifting into business mode time.
Well,
And
and here's the thing, is she works with organizer who is now Olivia. So
we go.
we organize, okay, when we get the paycheck, this paycheck goes towards the bills. This paycheck goes towards paying John and the credit card. So the organizer and the money manager work together.
Okay, perfect.
And then Piper, the paperwork girl, works with both of them.
Now this
You know,
could,
so yeah, they all help each other.
there you go. Now,
Sure.
what just came to my mind, which is a very interesting thing, is let's say,
Like these three categories interact with each other more.
okay, this is perfect. Now think about,
Attached and submissive are interconnected.
okay,
Playful is generally by itself, and these three categories interact very well together. Because this is my housework, and I need to take care of the plants when I wake up. I need to take care of my husband, make his coffee and his lunch. I need to, okay, organizer pipes up and says, well, it's Tuesday. We have John work today. But yesterday, it's not a John day, so we're going to work on videos. We need to post our stuff. We need to do this and that. And so, yeah, these three categories tend to work together.
there we go. There we go.
But this one pops in because I need to, if Dixie wants to play, well, that's my break from work.
Okay, perfect.
Or if I need to get my nails done, let's take a break. Or we gotta, feed the birds. That goes with plant work, outside watering the plants. But I've noticed that my pessimistic, anxious, defensive, aggressive all intertwine with each other.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
these don't work, then the submissive comes into play. And if none of that works, I get detached.
Well
And
put.
sometimes the detached people want to do their nails. That's how we detach,
That's right.
right?
Or
So
the crocheting. I think you were talking about crocheting or
yeah,
knitting.
I don't really, yeah, Charlotte is in here. Where is she? Right over here. She's helpful because she helps weave ideas and things together.
That's good. Yep.
Or if she wants to detach, there was a point for 3 or 4 or 5 years with Chris that in order for me to not lose my mind, I would knit while he was ranting and raving and whatever. It was my escape. I was detached,
That's right. That's right.
so yeah, I just, as you and I are talking, I'm realizing, yeah, these 3 or 4 tend to hang out with each other. And these 3 or 4 tend to hang out with each other. But yeah, like if I feel myself, like Chris comes home and I can see he's got a certain body language or tone, I get pessimistic. Oh, he's going to be a jackass today. And then the anxious people get worked up. And if he goes to a certain level, then I'm defensive,
There we go.
you
There we go.
know. And if I can't push him down at this level and I don't want to go to here,
Yep. There we go. Good. Good.
then
Good.
I might become submissive.
Yep.
Okay. And then when I get submissive, I get detached because I'm so uninterested in what he's talking about, right? And when that happens, Dixie will come along and sit next to me. So, oh, well, I can play with her and ignore him. He gets pissed off because Dixie's distracting you from me. He doesn't say it that way. So, I'm like, Dixie is my, she's my savior when
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't get away from his bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, the dog needs to go out. Look, she's at the door. I
Oh,
can
that's good.
leave because at night when it's dark, he insists I go out with her with a flashlight, which she needs anyway because she gets nervous. He doesn't want a hawk to come and pick her up or whatever. So I'm like, oh, Dixie's got to go to the bathroom. I got let me escape your nonsense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so playful is working with detached. It gives me that 4 or 5 minute break from being anxious and whatever. So yeah, they all bounce around with each other, but these guys hang out together kind of here, and these guys hang out together. And it's funny because that's the order that you put it on your sheet.
Oh, did I?
Yes. This is the order. I mean, I think you have some above and below,
Oh, right.
whatever.
Kind of the continue. Okay.
Now, I'm thinking, do you have the sexual part in this? I don't think you do. But when you get down to here is when the sexual stuff comes
So
in.
that's a good question, right? Kind of.
I think that's the playful part,
Right.
playful, and maybe because they're, maybe I don't know, or dutiful. You got to have sex with your husband. Okay, let's play around. And then once the sex happens, you're getting into the seductive area and the sex area, not necessarily the nasty sex things, but just, okay, I'm doing my duty. We're going to have fun. Okay.
There you go. Good. Okay.
So yeah. But when shit hits the fan, say with paperwork or whatever, and that's that next level of stress, then yeah, I'll come down here. The workaholics will kick in,
Good.
oh shit, it's harvest time.
There we go.
Marge is like, get your ass outside. And then me, and then the part up here that takes care of the plants, get that done. Because if we don't, they're gonna go to shit. What was the point of doing all that work if you're not gonna harvest it, Or so in September, I'll have a lot of outside work. Like desperate for connection. If these guys start raising their head, they'll have a talk with Giselle and say, well, let's play around with Chris. Or if Chris gets shitty up here, these guys come out, and start, say, fuck you, fuck you. And if it gets really bad, then I'll leave the house.
There we go.
These guys say, you know what? We're not playing this game. We're leaving the house. I'm renting a hotel room for the night. Let him spin out of control all by himself.
Good for you.
So these guys take care of that. But yeah, and now these guys, when they compartmentalize pain and body memories, they are not so stressed out because we're doing TED work, and the parts are taking that on. Oh, geez, we're running over. Do you have a client?
Oh, actually, I was unaware. Thank you for
Oh, I know. Yeah. So I
I've
could
got
go
I've
on
got a call.
forever with this.
I've got to go. I'm absolutely enthralled with what you're doing, Diana. Absolutely wonderful work.
Yeah. So I think that in the layers, they work together, communicate together. Maybe not. These guys might be in silos, but I think this is where co-cooperation might maybe work. It works better here and it works flawlessly here.
There we go.
That's just my impression of it. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's 12:15. I'm like, holy crap, your next person's gonna
I'm
be.
glad you reminded me. Good work, Diana. Honestly, you're doing wonderful work.
Thanks. But without doing it, you can't,
That's right.
you don't understand the whole picture. Yeah. Anyway, so
What's wonderful about, again, you're doing it for yourself, number one. That's why it's so genuine. It's so true. You're doing the work. But I mean, can you imagine if you had laid out all of this, how much it would make sense? So you're laying out the process for people so
yeah.
that there's no excuse that, okay, here's about how much time it's going to take. But you've done all the hard work for someone. But if they're serious,
Yeah, and without tapping into the beginning pieces and talking with you and putting them on a map when I had 40 parts or whatever, that giving them existence and life allowed the others to say, well, I want to pop my head up. And now you've got a group of 60 and 20 more want to pop their head up. And it's at some point, I think I should get all the parts, but
Yeah, they'll let themselves be known. But the
yeah.
memory, again, there's a good example, right? Without the work you're doing, you wouldn't have gotten the first memory of that ritual. And then a
Mhm,
couple
mhm.
months later, all of a sudden, here comes the same ritual, but more detail, which is
Exactly.
more horror and more trauma.
And I couldn't have gotten that if I hadn't done that
There we go.
paperwork.
There we go.
Doing the paperwork and realizing, well, no, who is the seductive sexual person at the higher levels? And once I did that, I realized, oh, this child part at the low level accessed them to fool this kid.
There we go.
So, and that brought the memory up. Yeah. I'm
So
just bummed out. It's going to be probably 2 or 3 months before that actually comes out on YouTube, on my channels, but that God has the timing the way he has it. So,
he has select people that you're going to be helping in a very serious way. So
okay, I'll let you go. I'm like
let me
really,
pray. Let me
okay.
pray.
All right.
I'm all encouraged here. Lord, thank you. Thank you that Diane and I can continue to work together. Lord, continue to bless her efforts. Lord, thank you for being right there with her as she is doing such hard work, but such good work. Thank you for all the parts being willing to step forward. Lord, if there's any others, we ask that you help them also step forward so she can get her memories so that they can release the trauma. Thank you for their willingness to help structure all of this so that not only can they be set free, but Lord, you're going to use her in a very powerful way. So we'll trust that that's going to unfold in due time. Keep your strong protective angels round about her, round about their house. Be with Chris. Continue to work on his heart, Lord, those wounded places that he has tucked away. Lord, continue to reach him and give him wisdom and give him insight and strength as he is working so hard to protect so many. Just be with him and give him a sense of your presence there at work. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Father. And thank you, John.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your day, and I'll
Well,
see
we'll
you
talk
on Friday.
there. Are we Friday or Thursday?
Friday.
Oh, we are on Friday. I knew that. What's my excuse, huh? I've still been working on, my son produced, fortunately, he produced a second video, so I've
Oh,
incorporated.
good.
So that's a really good one. So
Well, as soon as they come out, I'm gonna have say, Melissa, watch it. And
no,
so maybe she'll start
'cause I'm
interviewing again and she can have people refer to that.
I created an IA character that then will be the bridge between the first. The first one speaks to the kind of dad I was, and here is the kind of person I am not. And so it allows me I packed a lot of stuff in about why I've been targeted. What are the perps? Who are they? And what have they?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's good. But that's
I
only,
just, yeah, I just feel like Melissa caved. I'm like, whatever. It's her issue.
you know.
But okay, go. Go.
We'll talk to you Friday.
Okay, bye.